Rejoice, everyone. We're back with another Sekhie Reacts to Fate.
We're also back in our normal filming location.
Yeah, sorry for whatever happened to that Tiamat video.
Yeah.
We honestly don't know what that final product's going to look like yet.
Yeah, that was certainly stop shaking the table. That was certainly a video. I was gonna say something. I feel like I've really, like, here's the thing. I haven't not dropped the ball on hints this month. I just feel like y'all aren't like 4Ding this like hint game with me.
They're playing checkers, you're playing chess.
Nah, they're playing chess. I'm playing wherever the fuck Sheldon Cooper played that had a fucking snake on it. It was a 3-dimensional chess with 5 extra pieces.
There actually is a 3-dimensional chess game.
I know, but he had extra pieces invented for it. No, it was the 3-person chess game.
Oh.
Yeah, with the extra pieces added to it. That's what I'd be playing. Cause like I put the hints down for Tiamat, and nobody even came cool.
I don't think they've guessed for Tiamat yet. Next one's Nitocris, isn't it? That's going up at this time.
Nitocris. Okay, I put the hints down for Nitocris. I think the closest someone got was Cleo. So like, you know, whoopsie daisies.
It's been a hot moment, guys. Bear with us.
I don't know. It ain't been that long since we recorded these.
It ain't been that long since we recorded the first part of updates. That's our next video, guys. So...
So I don't know if y'all can tell by the title, the thumbnail, or what's on screen, but we just happen to be doing Inanna.
Ishtar.
Inanna.
Astarte.
Inanna. Astarte is literally the fucking...
Ereshkigal is the best among them all.
Ereshkigal is the best, let's be honest here. We all know it. She rules. She is the queen. Alright, so Inanna, as she was known to the Sumerians, or to the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians, Ishtar. Goddess of love, beauty, war, fertility, and queen of the heavens. Boo! Often associated with iconography like the planet Venus, lions, the 8-pointed star, mythologically married to Dumuzid or Tammuz, who we have discussed on this channel before. I brought this up to Nick Nack earlier. I was like, hey, did we talk about Dumuzid before?
Which video was it? I just, without hesitation, Altera.
And I was like, yes, I remember none of this, but like I knew it had happened. Like, I knew we talked about it, because I remember mentioning Dumuzid, and you being like, we'll be back to that. And I was like, okay. So we're back to that. It's been, what, like a whole ass year? It's been a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, historically, archaeologically, Inanna has been worshipped as a goddess as early as 4000 BCE. However, she really came into prominence in worship in Mesopotamia and the Fertile Crescent after the campaigns and conquering of Sargon of Akkad. She was especially beloved by the Assyrians, who placed her at the top of their pantheon, even above who they considered to be their national god. She's often syncretic with a lot of other goddesses of like love and war and beauty of a similar period. So Aphrodite, Venus, Astarte, Isis, etc. We covered this in my Roman paganism and religion class, but there's like this kind of goddess of like love, beauty, and war. There's always a goddess for like love and beauty, and usually war comes along with that because love and beauty often creates conflict, you know? See Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Thank you, Eris and Aphrodite. So it's possible that in a pre-Sargon context, Ishtar and Inanna were actually two different goddesses that were then just combined, right? But the daughter of Sargon of Akkad, Enheduanna, wrote tons of hymns to Inanna Ishtar. Like, she's one of our most famous people to like have documented shit about her. Like, Enheduanna is who you go to for like writings about early Ishtar Inanna. So Personality-wise, Ishtar is often portrayed as young and impetuous. She's never associated necessarily with marriage or motherhood because she is not a goddess of marriage or motherhood, nor does she take on the characteristics of mother goddesses, right? Like Magna Mater and others. She does have a twin brother, Utu or Shamash. So, you know, pantheonic. You've got the kind of relationships. We went over some of these relationships before with Tiamat, right? So we talked about An and Enlil and Nana and all these like early gods, right, in Mesopotamian mythology. Her attendant is Ninshubur, who's actually relatively important to her story. So, I mean, name to remember. Although unlike gods in like Egypt and Greece, Mesopotamian gods often had attendants who were other gods, but their entire job was to be the attendant or the kind of the person in charge of doing what this greater god wants you to do, right? Like the one meant to serve the gods. Yeah. So we have a lot of texts talking about Inanna Ishtar. She's a fairly popular goddess. She's fairly well recognized. She's represented in the poem of the World Order and Enki, right? Like the establishment of cosmic creation and organization. And she gets mad at Enki because he's like, you're unfair to me. You didn't give me cosmic power. And he's like, fuck you. This will be the first in a long line of fuck yous that Ishtar is owed. So she's mentioned heavily in the Epic of Gilgamesh. However, there's actually a prelude to that called the myth of Inanna and the Hulupa tree. It centers around like the young Inanna, right? And she moves this willow tree into her garden in Uruk. By the way, Uruk is her big worship center. She's the patron goddess of the temple of Eanna in Uruk. So she moves it into her garden with the intention to make it into a throne, and the tree grows and matures. But a serpent comes who knows no charm, and the Anzu bird and Lilitu, some seen as the forerunner to like Lilith of like the Old Testament, like the early Bible and Jewish folklore, all start to live in the tree, causing Inanna to be very unhappy, right? So Gilgamesh, who is portrayed as her brother in this version of the tale, ends up slaying the serpent, which causes the Anzu bird and Lilitu to flee, and then they chop up the tree and carve its wood into a bed in the throne that is then given to Inanna. And then she creates a Piku and Miku and gives them to Gilgamesh as a reward for his heroism, right? So this is all in the preamble of the Epic of Gilgamesh. So you've already got like a lot of connections to other people we know are servants in fate. We're not covering Gilgamesh and Enkidu today, but we're going to mention them a lot.
It's fate, you know Gilgamesh.
We love Gilgamesh. Like, God, how can one man be so asshole-ish and still be ravishingly attractive? So there's a hymn to Inanna and Utu that describes how Inanna came to be the goddess of sex. So at the beginning of this hymn, she knew nothing, and then she begged her brother Utu to take her to Kur, which is the Sumerian underworld, which we're going to talk a little bit more about later, so that she can taste the fruit of a tree that grows down there, which will tell her the secrets of sex. So she tastes the fruit and becomes knowledgeable, right? So it's very, very syncretic to the later biblical story of Adam and Eve and the apple and the serpent. A lot of Inanna Ishtar mythology can be synchronized to like early biblical folklore and stories, because it comes from a lot of the same parts of the world, and so there's a lot of syncretism and likely borrowing, right, in the creation of folklore and mythologies. Oh gosh. So Dumuzid, right, is her husband. He's the god of kind of like shepherds and shit. That one. You good?
No.
Okay. Jesus fucking Christ. So she does end up married to Dumuzid, right? And which makes it interesting then that she's not considered a marriage deity per se, but then again you look at her relationship history and you're like, yeah, no, that's like calling Zeus the patron god of love, We just don't do that. You know what I mean? We just don't do that. Nobody comes out on top if we do that. So there are varying myths, kind of like more. So these are all Sumerian myths I've mentioned. So that means that these are kind of the oldest myths about her. These are all old poems and hymns dating from very early points in history, right? And so there's a lot of stories of her bringing things back to Uruk, right? Because that's her patron city and she's the one who guards them. There's a lot of there's tales of her becoming the Queen of Heaven and the conquest that she embarked upon. And essentially what comes into it is that basically she creates and supports Uruk, right? Her patron city, which, I mean, obviously you look at these poems were written by a lot of the people of Uruk who have a patron deity, so they're going to claim that this deity does all these things. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Athens and Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Athena, the one who gave us the olive tree, you know? Patron goddess of our city. So, ironically enough, in Sumer, Inanna and her brother Utu were considered divine justice. They were the ones who proclaimed divine justice down on other people, which is kind of a bit bullshit. The poet Enheduanna, right, I discussed her already, once described a confrontation with Mount Ebbe in the Zagros mountain range, where basically Inanna condemns this mountain. Hang on, I'm going to read this to you. Mountain, because of your elevation and because of your height, because of your goodness, because of your beauty, because you wore a holy garment, because An organized you, because you did not bring your nose close to the ground, because you did not press your lips into dust. And then she begs An, the Sumerian god of the heavens, to allow her to destroy the mountain. Because the mountain did not bow before her and it was too beautiful and good.
She just wanted to see a mountain blow up.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so...
That sounds like a lot of excuses to me.
Yeah, so An, right, tells her not to attack the mountain, and she promptly ignores that and proceeds to attack it and destroys the mountain. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, so
she's the Michael Bay of the Sumerian mythology.
Yes! This is absolute bullshit. This is, the worst. You know what I mean? So, I suppose the next big story having to do with her that we should touch on is her descent into the underworld, right? So, there's a couple different versions of this, Sumerian and Akkadian.
There we go.
Okay. I'm going person by person, so I wasn't touching on Eresh yet. So the underworld is called Kur, right? It's located below the earth, and it's ruled by what is said to be Inanna's sister or aunt, the goddess Ereshkigal. So she tells her servant, Ninshubur, right, to plead with Enlil, Nana, An, and Enki if she doesn't return from her journey to the underworld. So she goes on a journey to the underworld wearing elaborately dressed. She has a turban, a wig, a lapis lazuli necklace, beads on her breast, the pala dress, mascara, a chest pectoral, a golden ring, and a measuring rod, right? Everything important that she's wearing represents something about her. So she pounds on the gates of the underworld. She wants to be let in, and the gatekeeper Nedi says, "Why have you come?" And she says that she wishes to attend the funeral rites of Gugulanna, right, the husband of my elder sister Ereshkigal. I guess this is where our stories are going to kind of converge, right? So Ereshkigal, right, flip back to my other page. Ereshkigal is the queen of the great place beneath the earth, or the great place of the earth. She's the goddess of the Sumerian underworld, Kur. Sometimes she's called Irkalla because of this, with her husband, of this point, Nergal, right? She's got a few key myths, like Inanna's descent to the underworld and her marriage to Nergal, and then she's mentioned in a few other things. But basically, she bolts the 7 gates and demands that Ishtar take off 1 article of clothing for every gate she goes through. She ends up in front of Ereshkigal and the kind of council, like the jury of the dead, and is judged and found guilty. And then she's struck dead and her corpse is hung on a hook for all to see in the underworld. And the fun part about this is that, she's traveling here for the funeral of Gugulanna, which I've already covered, but Ishtar is the reason that he's dead. Ishtar is the one who gets Fucking Ishtar is the one who gets Enkidu to kill Gugulanna, the great bull of heaven. So Ishtar has caused his death. This is her fault entirely, right? But she travels to go to his funeral, right? And is found guilty, obvi-fucking-usly, right? But, so, Inanna's minister, Ninshubur, then pleads with Enki and An and Enlil and everything to save her. And so he sends genderless servants to retrieve her. They ask for her body. It's given to them because it's just her dead body. And then she's fed the water and fruit of life and essentially comes back to life. As she leaves, the demons demand a trade for her life. And so she goes, hey, you know who didn't mourn me while I was dead? My husband, have him. Which is, what a fucking bitch move, right? So basically she condemns Dumuzid to time in the underworld on behalf of her for the crimes she committed. Interestingly enough, this is in almost every telling, universally. Inanna is not the protagonist of this story. Ereshkigal is. And a lot of the time, scholars and historians think that this story was meant to show the temperance of Ereshkigal and essentially say to the people that worship these deities, if Ereshkigal can continue living and working while such injustice has been done to her, a goddess, you too can get on with your life, right? Like, if a goddess has to deal with this much injustice, you can deal with a little shit in your everyday life. You know what I mean? Because the main theme of this story is the injustice done to Ereshkigal, right? On the part of Inanna. Like, Inanna is the bad guy here, to be entirely frank. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. All right. Let's see. So, and then she appears heavily, like I said, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? The Akkadian epic. She appears after Gilgamesh and Enkidu have returned to Uruk after defeating Humbaba, and demands that Gilgamesh become her consort. Because she deserves it, obviously. You know? Why would anyone... So, by the way, have you read Gilgamesh's refusal to her?
I've not read it word for word.
Listen to me while I tell the tale of your lovers. There was Tammuz, the lover of your youth. For him you decreed wailing year after year. You loved the many-colored lilac-breasted roller, but you still struck and broke his wing. You have loved the lion, tremendous in strength. 7 pits you dug for him, and 7. You have loved the stallion, magnificent in battle, and for him you decreed the whip and spur and a thong. You loved the shepherd of the flock. He made meal cake for you day after day. He killed children for your sake. You struck and turned him into a wolf. Now his own herd boys chase him away. His own hounds worry his flanks. She basically, you've loved all these people and you've destroyed them. Like, I don't want you. So Ishtar goes to her daddy, right?
Gilgamesh literally just says, "Begone, thought."
Genuinely. So Ishtar goes to her daddy and says, he insulted me. And then demands that her father give her the bull of heaven, right? Gugulanna, right? So this is actually happening before the descent into underworld kind of part of the myth. So Ishtar takes the bull and causes it to attack Gilgamesh and Enkidu. So they kill the bull and offer its heart to Shamash, her brother, you know. And then Ishtar stands on the wall of Uruk and curses Gilgamesh. Enkidu tears off the bull's right thigh and throws it in her face, saying, if I could lay my hands on you, it is this I should do to you, and lash your entrails to your side. He would later die for that. Enkidu calls together the crimped courtesans, prostitutes, and harlots and orders them to mourn for the bull of heaven. That's not very polite. That's really shitty. Later in the epic, Utnapishtim tells Gilgamesh about the story of the Great Flood sent by Enlil, right, and the Anunnaki, and then Ishtar appears before Utnapishtim wearing a lapis lazuli necklace and tells him that Enlil never discussed the flood with any of the other gods and says that she'll never let it happen again. Fuck this shit. Fuck this bitch. Absolutely fuck this bitch. You know what I mean? So the cult of Inanna Ishtar would later go on to be introduced to the kingdom of Judah, right? Which you would find a lot of its influence into the Bible. And then the Old Testament contains numerous allusions to a queen of heaven who is most likely syncretic to Inanna Ishtar and Astarte, which is another one of her syncretic traditions. Let's see. There's Astarte. She was also called Orania by some. And there are some... It's like, here's the thing, right? She's syncretized with Aphrodite, right? And this is, of all the people she's syncretized with, right? Of all the famous goddesses, right? Astarte, that's pretty obvious. But Aphrodite, like, yes. You know what I mean? Like, the myths of Aphrodite are so similar.
You see the sort of sideways glance.
Yeah,
that the myths are saying.
You know that meme where someone puts a cat on the table and says Greek mythology, and then someone draws around the shape of the cat and says Roman mythology? That's what this feels like. That's what this feels like. So that's kind of the interesting stuff about Inanna Ishtar. I've got a little bit left on Ereshkigal. So I wanted to cover Ereshkigal's marriage myth because I think it's pretty interesting. So she's invited to a banquet, right? And the banquet is in the heavens. And an interesting thing to know about Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal was actually abducted as a child. By Kur and forced to become the goddess of the underworld, with the underworld as her abode. And because of that, she wasn't really able to leave it, even though her siblings were the lords of heaven. So she wasn't able to see her siblings. So they threw a banquet, and she couldn't go to the banquet. So she sent her servant, Namtar, in her stead. And when her servant, her son, right? He's likely her son, according to the myths. When her servant went to the banquet, the other gods were supposed to rise to kind of honor him in place of his mother, and the god Nergal refused to rise. So he, basically, Namtar told his mother, who demanded that Nergal travel to Kur and atone for his rudeness to her and by that her son. The goddess Ea tells Nergal, do not sit, eat, drink, wash, or fuck in the underworld. Because then you won't be able to come back, not properly. Persephone and Hades much, anyone? However, Ereshkigal's good at what she does, and she and Nergal proceed to have a 6-day fuckfest. Immediately. Just a 6-day fuckfest. On the 7th day, he escapes and leaves. And she threatens to unleash all the spirits of the dead from hell and no longer hold them there if he is not returned to her.
That good, huh?
Yeah. So, well, because she seduced him initially, but in the myth, she's actually fallen in love with him at this point. And Ereshkigal is portrayed as intensely lonely because she cannot leave the underworld. And her previous husbands, Gugulanna, died. And then, again, her second husband, Enlil, while he sired sons on her, he didn't stay. He went up to live in the heavens. So she's been lonely a lot in mythology. And that's how she's portrayed here, as lonely and kind of in love and unhappy. So the gods decide to make him go back, but he plans to kill her. So he goes into her throne room and he essentially slams her down onto the ground. He's ready to slit her throat, and she breaks down and pleads with him to marry her, right, and share their lives and their powers, right? He can rule over the underworld same as her, split her dominion basically. And so he does agree to this, and so he lives down in the underworld in Kur for 6 months out of every year with her. So Hades and Persephone much? Which this is actually really interesting because there are some scholars who think that they may have discovered evidence of an earlier Hades and Persephone myth, right, under the name Kore, right, it kind of like Mycenaean and predating that, where Hades is not the god of the underworld. It's Kore, or Persephone is this dark and very omnipotent, powerful goddess of the underworld, who then gets Hades to be her consort for like a section of the year.
Which would be kind of that missing link between this story and that one.
Mm-hmm. And then it gets twisted when you get this intensely patriarchal Greek religion coming in where Hades is the god of this. So there's an interesting thing there. I'm certain it's not fully confirmed yet, but I do remember seeing some scholarship on it, and it really interested me in kind of like this like dark, powerful Persephone figure who may have been even earlier than Hades. So Ereshkigal's chief temple is at Cuthek, and her palace in the underworld is called Ganzir. She has had 2 children, Namtar and Nergal, and then occasionally a few others, depending on the myth. Namtar is her attendant. And then she's born from when the tears of Anu, which he sheds for Ki, his lover, meet the waters of the primeval sea goddess Namu. Ereshkigal and Enki are born. And then Nergal is the god of like scorched earth and war, like destruction, god of pestilence and devastation, that sort of thing. And there's some debate that perhaps the reason why the two of them are associated together is because they needed the 2 different cultural regions merged, and they needed to merge a couple of gods to do that. And so you ended up with this. Yeah. And I mean, of course, you're seeing all this lovely art, you know, like carvings and stuff.
How's fate gonna top this?
Yeah, that Knickknack's coming up with. These are 2 women. I fully expect them to stay women. Fate rarely turns a woman into a man, let's be honest. Has that happened yet?
Only once.
Who was it? Have I seen them?
No. You've been spoiled for who it is in the comments, though. Your reaction was, what the fuck? And you blocked it out of memory.
Oh, I'm really good at that. Like, stunningly good, right, Knickknack?
I think I was in the room with you when you read that comment. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I'm stunningly good at that. I have no memory of this happening at all. I genuinely don't. So
any last comments here on Dumuzid before?
Not particularly. It looks like you have an Astarte page up, but you actually didn't give me that name to look up.
Did I not?
No, you did not. And but here, hold on. That's fine. That's fine. Because I took Roman paganism class, and Astarte is a goddess that's used in one of the cults of Rome, right? So, Astarte was a kind of Bronze Age and Antiquity period deity, which was once again kind of from this like Mesopotamia region. And once again, she's like I said before, she's one of the same goddesses associated with like war, sex, and that sort of thing. So her Syrian cult was imported to Rome, and her Syrian cult was one of the kind of longest lasting versions of her cult. In fact, in Apuleius's Golden Hind, remember we talked about that for Eros and stuff? There's actually a reference to these kind of rabid, wild priests of the Syrian goddess who ran naked, castrating themselves in the streets in prayers to her, and it's Astarte. That's the reference, the Syrian goddess. And so Astarte's got some pretty interesting stuff happening with her.
You don't need to go too heavily into it, but if you want to go over some of the key fun stuff,
I do. There's a specific thing. It's got to be in here, so I gotta. The cult of the Great Mother in Rome, right? Cult of Magna Mater, a cult that was brought into Rome when Rome was fighting Hannibal and the Carthaginians in the hopes that it would discourage them and get them to win the war, right? Because Rome had this practice of like, they would symbolically bring the patron god of the civilization, the people they were fighting, into their Roman religion and show the god that they could do it better, to like discourage their enemies, right? So this is Magna Mater, right, from Phrygia. Now, what's interesting here is that her name here is Cybele, or Cybele, and she has a consort named Attis. But Cybele is the Phrygian name for the Phoenician goddess Astarte and the Syrian goddess Atargatis. It's the same woman. That's my socks. She just pulled my fucking socks down. He just pulled my fucking socks down. You little Oh, he went for you! Anyways, so, so she was known as the mistress of wild animals, the goddess of nature, and that sort of thing, in her cult in Rome. And there was a specific interesting thing here is that her consort, right, hails from the east, right, somewhere in Mesopotamia, often shown as a naked youth, and is a eunuch. And that is because of a very specific myth associated with this goddess. So initiates do make a personal choice. Her priests, the Romans called them the Gallic priests, made the choice to cut off their own genitalia in order to worship her appropriately.
That was probably a very short-lived religion.
Actually, no, it was incredibly popular and powerful. Gotta... Was it the fucking... There it is. So she had she's associated with a lot of things, but so there's a Catullus poem source, right, which talks about a follower named Attis, right? And this is so her follower named Attis became a counterfeit woman in a kind of sort of, so he was like in the throes of worshiping her in kind of like this wild worship sense. This is pretty common in Roman cults from outside, but she becomes a counterfeit woman by castrating herself. And at the end of the night, after she's done this and she's sitting in the forest, she regains, they regain lucidity, right? And they regret their actions. Like, they feel regret for castrating themselves and becoming a counterfeit woman. And Cybele is so unhappy about this that she sicks lions on them to eat them.
Cybele says trans rights?
Yeah. So that's super, super chill. Her myth, her stuff is also where we get the Tarbolium and Cribolium, and I feel like it's important to share this story. So we were talking about the Tarbolium, right, in my Roman paganism class, and let me tell you, you have not lived until you have been talking about a Tarbolium, right? So I had just been to Subway, got like a foot-long sandwich, double meat, right, warmed up, heated, extra cheese, got it covered in creamy sriracha hot sauce. If you've ever been to Subway, the creamy sriracha hot sauce is like reddish orange. It is like bright. This shit is dripping out of the ends of my sandwich, right? Full of meat, right? Because I'm going to be on campus for like 12 hours. I needed food, right? So it's sitting right there. This class runs like 12 to 1:15. So I'm going to eat lunch after, we have this discussion. So my professor's sitting there, we get to talk about the Tarbolium. And so the thing you do when you have the Tarbolium is you take a cow, right? And you hang it above a sacrificial pit. And then you sacrifice it so that all the blood drains out, right? And then the blood is then like smeared across some of the priest's face. It like hits their eyes and like in their mouth and all this sort of shit. And then they do a bunch of crap with it. It's really, really gross is what I'm getting across. Very bloody. And it was a steak sandwich too. So like steak and red. And it was like, it's a good thing y'all ate lunch before you came to this class. At which point I just kind of looked at my Subway sandwich full of beef with like this very red sauce kind of coming out. And just kind of, yeah. So glad.
So glad you ate lunch before going to that
So
class.
So glad. Anyways, sorry. Astarte is one thing we talked about it a lot in class, so I thought it was interesting to, yeah.
So yeah, I guess probably about time we get into it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So there's obviously a lot.
Yeah, I can see much. Like much. I see so much. So who have I already seen because of?
You've seen Ishtar, and you might have seen what Ereshkigal looks like.
Okay, I know one's blonde and one's black-haired.
Yes.
But I don't know which one's which, and I haven't... It was just like the ones.
Do you remember the one key thing, that like the big fate thing that's kind of tied in with them?
What do you mean? I know they're in Babylonia.
Yes. You'll instantly remember.
All I remember is that I think I saw one of them in Babylonia. But I was paying more attention to...
So, like, that's just Rin.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, you remember that all the gods kind of have to pseudo into somebody.
Oh, yeah.
They pseudo into Rin.
Okay. So is this Ishtar or Ereshkigal?
This is Ishtar as an archer.
Okay. I can't say I love the outfit, but at the same time, unlike, for example, T.H.E not being clothed, even though we have a ton of like historical evidence that she would have been very clothed.
This makes an unfortunate amount of sense for Ishtar.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, like there would have been clothes. You could see on some of the sculpting that there was a form of clothing, like covering, but like, you know, people were a lot more free about nudity in ancient times. You know, we didn't have these same conventions of like, don't have your tits out, don't have your dick out. This
is unfortunately rather accurate depiction.
Not really, actually.
Really?
I said the one thing it goes wrong in is that clothing in Mesopotamia would have been dictated by the sun, right? And the absolute heat of living in a desert.
True, it would have been protective.
Yeah, if you look at desert peoples today, right, just regardless of the heat, you have to protect yourself with fabric. So she would have been wearing a basically full-length dress. It might have been, like, partially sheer. She wouldn't have had anything under it, certainly. But she would have been wearing, like...
something to protect from the sun.
Yeah, and it likely would have been, like... I mean, maybe she would have been portrayed in, like, white on temple walls and stuff, you know? Because, like, certain colors, like, easy to dirty, so you don't wear them in everyday life, so goddesses wear them, but, yeah. So she would have actually been dressed, but it's fate. I don't love it. But honestly, it feels like they're really including very little of, you know, any sort of Sumerian art anyways. Or Akkadian, or Babylonian, or Mesopotamian. This seems like a pretty modern design. I mean, she is wearing, like, the is that the lapis lazuli necklace and, like, pectoral that they describe?
I believe so.
Yeah. I'd be willing to bet, like, maybe her jewelry is, like, referencing the story. Yeah. And so maybe, like, this outfit is supposed to be that, like, palu or lady's robe or whatever. I'm not gonna comment.
What's wrong?
I'm not gonna comment. My brain went somewhere and no one needs to go where my brain went.
Is that where it went?
Surprised she's not a writer with that kind of art. No. Mm-mm. So what do you have to tell me about Bitchtar?
She's a bitch.
Bitchtar, yeah.
So, normally I would go into a bit more of a spiel on the host, Rin Tosaka, but we kind of just watched Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah.
So, if you want Sekhie's reaction to the character of Rin Tosaka, go watch our Unlimited Blade Works discussions.
It was actually a fairly good reaction in Unlimited Blade Works. I was decently much a fan.
All that really matters, as far as Rin's character goes here, is she's a tsundere with money issues.
Big fucking mood. What a pairing. I don't need you to pay for my stuff.
Ishtar here really gravitates towards that tsundere aspect more so than even Rin does. It's rare she does anything actively malicious in her own eyes. Mm-hmm. But she'll throw a fit.
Perception is key. I mean, this bitch was told no by Gilgamesh and then she said, "Daddy, give me my sister's husband. I'm gonna kill him."
If she's mad, she may demand money, maybe ruin a little farmlands in a fuss, maybe demand someone marry her, you know, the usual shit.
Just some casual sexual coercion. No big.
But at the end of the day, it's because she deserves it. She needs it for to continue being such a great goddess.
It's so not the drama.
Yeah, there's no ways around it. Ishtar is a bitch.
Yeah. Ereshkigal is the hero of this story. Poor baby.
So what she lacks in reliability and trustworthiness, and personal accountability, and general empathy, she makes up for in raw power.
Wait, scroll up a little.
What you see?
I just wanted to... Ha! So the Bull of Heaven is a divine beast?
Yes.
Nice. Also, I saw Humbaba.
Yep. That's actually a servant.
I know it is. It's on our list. Kong Ming. It's ya boy, Kong Ming.
It's your boy Waver.
I saw Marduk. You're scrolling fast, but I see names.
Yeah, that's all I care about here. A lot of
Gugulanna.
spoilers here. Okay. Oh, anime.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, pseudo-servant, compatible with her. Okay.
Yeah, she tends... So she likes to fly around on that bow, which is the Boat of Heaven Mana.
Okay.
She uses it as a bow, which she shoots out her jewels. Mm-hmm. And she's... Let's see. She uses gems especially to power it up, but I can't tell if that... I'm pretty sure that's a Ren thing more than an Ishtar thing.
Probably, yeah. Gem, other than, like I said, there was the mention of lapis lazuli, you know, in her story. Like, she was wearing a necklace of that, and it was of great value.
And what tells me it's kind of a Rin thing is that although it's helpful for Ishtar to merge the Ishtar abilities with Rin's gems, she has no golden rule. So she has no way of getting these expensive gems that help her.
Unlike Gilgamesh, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So...
I like the notice. She can also use a spear, but this time she's sticking to her act as an archer. So, okay, magic resistance, independent action, divine core of the goddess. We've seen these before. Okay, so shining great crown. All right. Related to her being the queen of heaven. Mana burst gem. Manifestation of beauty. Goddess of beauty. So fucking weird.
So... She has a couple different nobles. What?
The NP!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the anecdote of the man.
If you looked over at me when you were bringing that up, I was like... Not that the audience could see it on camera, because there's no knick-knack cam today.
My brain be strong. Angalta Kigalshe.
Yep.
Amazing.
Annihilating the sacred mountain
Ebby. That was feared by even the gods because she was displeased with it. Its power is able to completely destroy Tiamat's femme fatale. Oof. When fighting Enkidu, she's confident about taking them on. Okay. Gugulanna strike.
So, this should be her most powerful NP because it summons the giant, powerful Bull of Heaven.
Yeah.
It outclasses most things in Type Moon in power.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to reasons we will get into later, she kind of lost it.
Is it because she made it die?
No, she just casually lost a giant fucking bull.
How do you... Okay.
We'll get into that later.
Okay.
Let's look at some NPs here.
Fuck you, lose. A giant bull of heaven. Of the goddess of Venus. Yeah, not the goddess Venus, but the goddess of Venus.
Yep.
Because the Sumerians could identify the planet Venus in the sky. The ancient Mesopotamian peoples were I talked about this in one of our other videos, but that's where we get like the basis of our zodiac system today. Like the Greeks adapted it, but it was originally Mesopotamian. Oh look, an archer who actually uses a bow.
Very roundabout bow, but it is a bow.
It's a bow. It has a string, it has arrows.
Well, it has gems.
Just fire Venus.
Yep. She doesn't get rid of Venus when she does that. It's more of a conceptual thing.
Yeah. Leveling a mountain, you know,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. That is a pretty epic looking NP.
I'm glad you liked it.
And now we're gonna see Gugulanna.
This is arcade.
Ooh!
Actually, I don't really have much to show you with Gugulanna as far as the anime.
Because she
goes.
lost him.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that's so funny to me. Is there a reason she's got keyholes
I don't know.
in her titties? Okay.
Are those even keyholes?
They look like keyholes. Look at them. It looks like a little keyhole. Conceited. Oh, is she beating Gilgamesh up?
Yes.
Nah, Gilgamesh wins.
He would.
He would. Ooh. All of Venus. Oh, her eyes changed color. Did you see that? Could you see that?
No.
Okay. Her eyes are normally red like Rin's, but they went like goldish green when she activated her NP.
So that's not it for Ishtar here.
Okay.
Ishtar has a summer form.
Oh, yay!
Meet Rider Ishtar.
Oh! So I do get my wish. There is a rider. Okay.
Not too much in design because it's a welfare servant, so only two
Oh, that's
arcs.
kind of cute. I like her little, like, sweatshirt. Yeah. Oh, she's got a moped.
Yeah.
Is that Gugulanna?
That's called Gugulanna Lily.
Yeah. Baby Gugulanna. Jesus fucking Christ.
She even has it in her sprite here. But it's a pig for some reason.
With banding.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It looks like a bee and a bull and a baby. That fucking... adorable.
So, you remember how I mentioned the unfortunate loss of a bull the size of a mountain?
Yep.
It sucks, but you know, at the end of the day, that can be forgiven eventually.
Oh no.
Except Ishtar decides she needs to get it back by generating enough mana to resummon it. Thing is, that's a lot of mana.
Yeah, I see some mentions of CONNACT.
Yeah. She does it the only way she knows how, by convincing a bunch of servants to race across a disposable piece of land, kicking up a lot of mana as they go. It's a great plan that only requires the sacrifice of a small, insignificant plot of land called the entirety of Ireland.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the Venusian texture upon the soil of CONNACT. I can imagine that, you know, they were not a fan of that.
When they figured out what was going on, no.
Yeah, no. I can just, like, picture, like, Maeve and the other, like, Irish servants just being like...
Maeve was kind of doing her own fucked up thing. You remember the prison outfit, Maeve?
Oh, is this that?
Maeve was... Because it was a singularity. Maeve was already ruling over that singularity when Ishtar shows up and decides she's going to destroy Ireland.
Ah.
Except Maeve was kind of running a kinky BDSM prison.
Yeah. Yes, we remember this. We remember the crop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the flogger. We remember.
So she transforms her boat of heaven into a moped.
Okay, stop. Let me read the fucking skills. So she gets some new stuff. So she gets shining water robe. Okay, so her great crown converts to a swimsuit. All right. Asal turn. That's the part of the mana scooter. And then summer breaker destroys summer. Okay. Oh, a watered down version of the Tamama no Mai skill.
Yep. And then her NP here, you want to pronounce that?
Angalta.
Yep. Is that the same as before?
Nope.
Okay, different. Does
Nope,
that ring
name.
any bells?
The 7 colors does. Not immediate remembrance though. You know what I mean?
So she goes on a vacation experience, and that experiences multiple resorts and luxuries. She feels many happy feelings, which she converts into mana and rains down on the earth.
Valid entirely.
So here is this noble phantasm.
I like the blue dress. Hang on. Sorry. I'm gonna be... That was the fucking Arc de Triomphe. Oh, yeah. Pretty outfit. She just fart sparkles on them?
Yep.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I can only assume that maybe the 7 colors has something to do with like the multi-pointed star that goes along with her. But nothing specific. I'm sure the comments will correct me.
Yeah, so...
You did not give me I did not ask for as in detailed a list of stuff as I have a few other times, so it's on me.
Next we have Ereshkigal.
Yay!
Any guess as to the class Ereshkigal might be?
Berserker.
Lancer.
You know what? Even better. Even better.
So this is Ereshkigal.
So who's Ereshkigal summoned into?
This is still Rin. Fun fact, it is still just Rin from Fate Stay Night. But the design here is actually in reference to an alternate Rin from Fate Extra, the one that summons Ku. Oh. She appears brunette or black-haired. I don't remember which one Rin is actually, and it's hard for me to tell. She appears that way in that war, but because the war is all on a supercomputer, when they leave the supercomputer, one of the last kind of just fun little things, she's actually blonde and is the descendant of normal Rin.
Oh, okay.
This is not that Rin, but this is a reference to that.
It's
Rin.
a reference to it. All right. I'm gonna be honest, I like this design a lot better than Ishtar. Simply because A, she's just more covered up in general. And B, I know it's a stereotypical thing, but I do like the dark colors and the underworld associations. Like, I know it's a stereotype. I wonder if we can get a good But you know, give me what?
Nah, I can't see it.
What we're looking for.
A skull. I'm pretty sure there's like a skull on her outfit somewhere. I forget where it is though.
Let me see.
I could be wrong.
Is that a pin of skulls right there?
Might be. I can only ever really see it when I'm in her close-up sprites. And I might be wrong about this. I could be misremembering. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yep, there's a bunch of skulls. Trust the bioarchaeology student to be able to find the skulls in any image. Okay, I found my skulls. I like this though. I kind of like the little gothic Lolita thing you got going on. It's very death and
that gets into something later.
It's very death and destruction in like the most kind of Victorian stereotypical way that I can appreciate. You know what I mean?
You got her sprites.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Yup. Valid. Big Lance.
We will come back to this.
Big Lance.
Because I do have more to go over with this that I accidentally showed off there.
Yeah, goddess of the netherworld, queen of the great below.
So let's see here. So you did cover Ereshkigal in that first part. You covered everything.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to cover one without covering the other, so I see why we had to do them together.
Yeah.
Because to get into Ishtar, I had to talk about Ereshkigal, and to get into Ereshkigal, I had to talk about Ishtar.
This is a fateism here, but fate posits that they're not only counterparts, and I think you said they were sisters.
Sisters or aunts, depending on the telling, yes.
Yeah, that fate goes the sisters route, but it goes farther to posit that they may have even been one goddess split into two while they were young. So
which, I said that was true with Inanna and Ishtar, but, you know, having, as sisters, I mean, if you go that route, that's not too unbelievable. Also, I see that she is in Nahui Mitlan.
Yes.
Nice.
I
don't know, I know stuff about that chapter. Someone mentioned in the comments, they asked if we were going to do Kukulkan as a update.
We need to do it as a separate video.
But it's going to be a separate video because I think we're also covering Tezcatli Polka and
no,
stuff.
Like when I came up with that plan, that was the idea.
Yeah. No, there's enough on Kukulkan to do it on her own? Okay. So then we will eventually be covering like all the Mayan lore stuff. Probably the same episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Kukulkan will be getting a separate episode.
Probably. We'll see how that all shapes out when we get there, I think.
Yeah. It is on the list. It is on the schedule.
So Ereshkigal here is a lot more passive and introverted than Ishtar is.
Lonely, sad.
Yeah. She outwardly claims not to care about people, but inwardly she shows them a lot of compassion.
Yeah.
Ishtar is spoiled and free-spirited.
Mm-hmm.
Ereshkigal here is far more dutiful and confined in how she takes her job, partially because she's confined.
That fits. Mascot.
Woo!
Oh, and he's even the right color.
So would you call that black-coated Ishtar or blonde-coated Ishtar?
Blonde-coated Ishtar. I mean...
The debate.
Blonde-coated Rin. Probably. Because there's Rin, then there's goddess-coated Rin, and then there's blonde-coated Rin.
Oh, wait, did I show you the...
No, you did not. Oh, look, there's her skulls in even more detail. Is the fucking Ishtar?
You remember Ereshkigal was hiding on Ishtar's boat.
Oh, I did not notice.
Oh, let's go back here then.
I did not notice at all. Oh, yeah, you're right. I thought that was just like the player character or some shit.
Yep. Nope.
Wait, take me back to her third art real quick. Or
This one?
No.
This one?
The other one. Next one. That one. Ah! Okay. So she does have a big skull right at her neckline in this art. And then the little cascade of them in the other art.
Ooh, careful.
Oh, he's purring so loud.
So as far as abilities go, I'll kind of scroll through here, see if you can catch anything.
Okay. She's I think I just saw something said a member of Anunnaki, which is true in some versions. There's Abyss, Dumuzid, Osaka Behime.
Even as a lancer, she's actually very capable of support and support.
Hey! Sorry. Saw something.
No, it's fine. I was stumbling over my words anyways. Even as a lancer, she's very capable support-wise. She provides her allies with protection of the underworlds through a skill of hers in here, I believe.
So I do wanna scroll back up for a second because I wanna the thing I went ooh to. So the thing I went ooh to was here. The spear in her hand is the blazing soul of Meslam Taya, the ancient Sumerian name of the sun god Nergal, right, her husband. A grace only granted in this form, the light that warms the soul and the depths of the earth. It possesses his authority of the sun, which is a blessing, but also acts of violence of nature due to the many deaths of humans, right, in summer. I did not list this name. I didn't think I needed it, but I did recognize it when I saw it lit up blue. So I was like, hey, I know that name. Okay. So this is all the same as, well, territory creation, but still. Oh, she freely calls the seven gates of the underworld. Cool.
Actually, in Fate, what ends up happening is because it's this game is not an eroge, they don't strip Ishtar naked. Instead, Ishtar keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking after each gate. By the time you get to the last fight of that section, you can actively use the support Ishtar, and she's like that small on the screen. And she's capable of fighting. She'll go to her NP, and you just can't see her next to Venus.
Oh gosh. Okay, so that's hilarious. There's a hidden great crown, the crown of a goddess said to be created from what she took from Ishtar of heaven and earth. Various graces. Okay, a mana burst cage. Diligent, earnest, pessimistic. Okay. Protection of the underworld. Offered as a pillar of the underworld she came to rule. It's her authority. Okay.
And then we have the noble phantasm.
Kur Kigal Irkala. Right? So that Kur is the name of the dragon that took her, but also the name of the Sumerian underworld. And then Irkala is another name for the Sumerian underworld. The anti-mountain type. So it's the same as Ishtar's Angal Ta Kigal She. They're the Kigal repeated twice. But instead of a shot from the great heavens to the earth, it is the goddess of the underworld's punishment from the great below to the world above. Oh, hell yeah. It was able to temporarily stop negagenesis?
Yep.
And hold back the draconic corpus form? Oh, man. Hot.
So
10 out of 10.
Why don't I go ahead and jump into the NP here? Oh yeah, she was also introduced in the Christmas event.
Oh, okay. That was a deer. A reindeer.
Yep.
Oh. Spirits of the underworld.
Actually, fun fact, Ishtar was introduced in a Christmas event too.
Oh. Ooh. Oof. Oh, that's that mana burst cage. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Hang on. That's a T-Rex skull. You see that shit? That was a T-Rex skull. Rexy.
Dun 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 dun
Dun dun dun dun dun. Kurkigal. Irkala. A vast sea of the heavens is a prisoner. My heel is the wrath of Kur itself. Man just absolutely calls the underworld down to here. Reflect upon your behavior. Well, she is the goddess. She does provide judgment in the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common theme of underworlds, the kind of the providing judgment. You'd think it wouldn't be.
I mean, it's only at the end of your life that your life can be fully judged.
Exactly.
So, that kind of makes sense, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait, go back. So she doesn't just have a skull. Look, there's a spinal cord going down her front. It's the vertebra.
We have an arcade as well.
Yay! Me likey arcades.
I know you do.
In the words of Orn, she's a thirsty, thirsty bitch. We like her arcades. Glorious. Oh, she blushed. Yeah, she's wearing 2 skulls and the spinal cord. Her vertebra. Yeah.
Ereshkigal is the best goddess.
Oh yeah, 100%. For a second, I genuinely, my first thought was, she trying to take a shit? Is that Benkei?
I think so. Oh, look, it's Ishtar!
Yeah.
And Gilgamesh.
Yep. And I think Benkei was the 3rd servant.
No, Mash was in there.
Oh. Huh. Well, when she was on the streets, she was fighting Benkei. Oh, look! I see fucking... Okay. I see Ishtar now here. I recognize her.
I think this is actually a newer banner.
Still, there's Herc and Mash, and I see Ishtar. Is that Karna? Yep. I do not recognize 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people in this image.
All right. So I have one more thing, and this is a pretty new thing. So if we see something on the wiki here that surprises me, it's because it was just added to the wiki.
Okay. You want to close some of the YouTube tabs so we have some...
yeah.
And maybe some of the Wikipedias?
Yeah, we can close out of the Wikipedia. We'll keep Ishtar and Ereshkigal's open.
Cool.
In case we want to reference it. We'll close these side ones.
Yeah, and get rid of some more of the YouTubes.
Okay.
And those 2. We saw them. There we go.
So, well, first off, we have... We're going to go back here.
Ereshkigal!
Oh, wait, is it not...
She have a summer form?
So she doesn't have a summer form?
Oh.
But I guess it's in a... Oh, yeah, it's a separate page.
Okay.
She has an altar.
Oh.
In gameplay, it's just a costume, so we're not going to see a new NP here.
Okay.
But let's scroll down here, because this was so recent that when I did my notes for this, I didn't have a lot to go off of, so there might be some differences here.
All right.
Oh!
Okay. No. So Ninkigal is... I came across that in my reading, but I didn't... Let me pull it up. So I came across this in my reading, but it is another name for Ereshkigal. I just noticed something I forgot to mention. The Greeks, looking at Sumerian shit and then not bothering to practice their reading comprehension skills, just associated Hecate with her, because they just assumed she was like an underworld goddess of magic and just completely ignored the fact that she was, in fact, the goddess of the underworld. Which is pretty funny. But yeah, so Ninkigal is another name given to her. Ooh, Tezcatlipoca. And King Protea.
Actually, I should be able to click into her design here as well. Actually, I clicked out of it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And this is just the outfit.
Yeah, I like the outfit. I like her a lot.
Let's click back into the lore here, because I don't know what to expect down here.
Yeah, I'm curious here. Let's see. Okay, so she became her ideal self, the perfect goddess, Ninkigal.
From what I understand, she acts a little bit more like Ishtar in this form.
Yeah, but probably not that much.
Not nearly as bad.
So she possesses... Oh, okay, so a civilization-building authority. Okay. In which she can mass-produce Gugulanna. She deemed Ishtar's use of it ineffective. Holy shit. Okay. Alright. Anti-ORT barrier of 1,000 Gugulanna legs. Jesus fucking Christ. Even fought off the vanguard of a civilization reaping star. Impressive. You want to go down? See if there's anything? No? Okay.
Yeah. That gets into more flavored text of the story. But yeah, that's Ereshkigal Alter here. I wish I had more to say on her, but...
I like her.
Yeah, I haven't read it too much into her yet.
Yeah, I like her so far. No, obviously not much about her, but I like her.
Yeah. So
she will not be included in the updates video.
No. God, no.
No.
I'll jump here to Nergal first, even though I had Dumuzid there.
That was the god of the sun, war, diseases, plagues, all stuff I listed.
So there's a point, and this is why Altera and Ereshkigal were introduced in the same event, where Nergal tries to take over the underworld after deeming Ereshkigal's use of it just bad.
Aw.
Let's see. This is not even the real Nergal, though.
Uh-huh.
It's more of, let's see, what I list here.
I like that the real Nergal mocked Ishtar and got beaten up by her after he took her on to the challenge. But he was one of the few gods who could swallow his pride and admit his fault. That's why he acquiesced to Ereshkigal after the defeat. Okay.
Yeah, this is just like the lingering, a personification of the lingering resentment between them.
Okay.
But the real Nergal long would not have done this.
Yeah. Okay.
He doesn't have a design, though. It's probably because he's not the real one.
I thought I saw a gold sheep.
You did. We will get there.
That was Dumuzid, wasn't
Dumuzid,
it?
yeah.
Dumuzid, okay.
We covered him a little bit in Altera.
Yeah.
But Nergal's design ends up just being Darius III in Shadow Servant form.
Okay, I've seen Darius III.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Have you?
I pulled him when I was playing Fate.
All right.
Big black dude.
Dumuzid.
The sheep.
Why do I have... Oh, I opened him twice.
Dumuzid.
Dumuzid.
The sheep. Which makes sense, because he's the god of shepherds.
Yep. Let me see here. Any got notes? Behind every shitty goddess, there's a even shittier husband.
Oh, hey! A name I will be bringing up when we eventually do Gilgamesh. King Lugalbanda. Yep.
So, he can transform into any animal he wants, but because of because of what he kind of has, he likes to be a sheep.
Dumuzid.
Dumuzid.
Alright, let's see.
He has a human form, by the way. This was brand new.
Okay. The eyes and hair are throwing me a little off. Looking a little depressed.
He ends up running support for a lot of the Babylonia cast on the Babylon side of things.
Yeah.
Even helping... he can even be seen helping run Gilfest, the successor to Nerofest.
Get it.
And yes, you'll remember, he is the reason why Altera has sheep powers.
Yes, I do remember this. This was bullshit. That's what this was. This was bullshit.
So yeah, he's actually, surprisingly in Fate, he has more interactions with Ereshkigal than he does with Ishtar. In fact, I don't think they've talked once in Fate.
I mean...
That was kind of a messy divorce.
Yeah. It was not a pleasant parting.
So, like...
I doom you to the underworld. On my behalf.
Like, this is all very interesting, right?
Yeah.
Just a one unanswered question in all this.
Oh, boy.
What the fuck happened to Gugulanna?
Yeah! What the fuck did happen to Gugulanna? He's a divine beast, and, you know... Obviously, he can be summoned. Is there a human?
You see, around the same time Ishtar was summoned in Babylonia in FGO, she was also improperly summoned in a different timeline.
Okay.
This timeline being the one from Fate's Strange Fake.
Oh, okay.
Here she inhabits the body of an Einsburn homunculus.
Okay, yeah, the white hair and red eyes give it away.
Yep. This homunculus's name is Philia, and potentially due to having arrived to harass Gilgamesh... Ishtar here arrived potentially just to harass Gilgamesh and Enkidu. Who were summoned a lot more properly.
To be fair, I feel like I just need an entire anime of Enkidu and Gilgamesh just like absolutely being like gay buddies and like heckling the shit out of Ishtar. You know what I mean?
You might get that in this anime.
I need her like drooling after Gilgamesh while like Enkidu just openly makes fun of her while being like linked in arms with Gilgamesh.
Unfortunately, I think we pick up after the mythology, so Ishtar is now over Gilgamesh as far as actually wanting him, and now just kind of wants to kill him for rejecting her.
Damn.
She's hit that point, which is not very hard with Ishtar.
Damn, that would have been so funny. Comments back me up. That would have been so funny.
But yeah, she's not actually a servant, we don't think.
Okay. Just a character. at the moment.
Fun fact. When she's summoned into Rin's body, her Ishtarness is actually toned down by Rin's personality. Here, this is all Ishtar.
Ooh.
This is like bitch on top of bitch.
Oh boy. All fun. All fun.
Let's see here. So, there's a full body.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, there's some skills.
So she lacks the ability to fight. Yeah.
Okay, that's fun that she gets the Gate of Babylon's golden key because Gilgamesh was stupid.
Yeah, no, Gilgamesh kind of just chucks it away at the very beginning of the series, and she picks it
Why?
up later. Because Gilgamesh is a conceited asshole.
Jesus.
Actually, that's now animated. That scene where he chucks the Gate of Babylon's key.
Fucking hell. So magic resistance, lingering echo of the goddess. Okay, that makes sense. Manifestation of beauty, she had that before. Mana, shining great crown, yeah. Two noble phantasms, Jabal, Hamrin Breaker, and Gugulanna Strike Outrage.
So, I don't have much to say on the Jabal Hamrin Breaker. I don't think that's been translated yet. Yeah. But Gugulanna Strike Outrage. So, you ready to finally learn what happened to Gugulanna? Mm-hmm. When she was summoned in this timeline, because she wasn't a proper servant, she didn't have Gugulanna. So, she found another timeline, which probably didn't need Gugulanna. It's excessive. And just plucked it out.
Okay. So I looked up Jabal Hamrin, right? The Hamrin Mountains are a small ridge to the northeast of Iraq, the westernmost ripple of the great Zagros Mountains. The sacred mountain was in the Zagros mountain range. The Jabal Hamrin Breaker. It's Mountain Breaker. It's the mountain that she broke.
She's breaking mountains.
It's Mountain Breaker. It's literally fucking Mountain Breaker.
Keeping in mind that this is the timeline where they're about to fight Tiamat. And probably could have used that Bowl of Heaven.
It's Mountain Breaker. It's Mountain Breaker! Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Ishtar just stole Gugulanna from herself.
Yeah, Elbe. Mount Elbe.
So it wasn't Ishtar's fault, but it was still Ishtar's fault.
It's all Ishtar's fault. So now are you going to show me Gugulanna?
Gugulanna.
Oi, what the fuck? I don't like that. I don't like that. Nope.
So Gugulanna is a massive mechanical bull in Fate.
Okay. Also known as Hurricane Inanna. Oh, does Gugulanna get summoned in Babylonia?
No, so they do succeed in making Gugulanna in Ireland, but Gugulanna still would destroy, because they just kick up mana when they're doing the race.
Okay.
They get Gugulanna there, but moving Gugulanna would just destroy Ireland.
Okay. Okay.
So that's where you actually get to see Gugulanna like this.
Okay. All right.
Its mere presence alone will cause massive damage to the nearby area. And it took no less than 14 servants to put up a fight against it, and even then they could only beat it because Kets happened to show up and be in the area.
Of course it's Kets. Kets is the ultimate.
And it was only just getting moving, so the only thing it was really doing to fight them was just kind of stepping its hoof near them.
Yeah. Amazing. There's something deeply unsettling
about that.
It's the eyes, I think. They're just deeply unsettling, you know what I mean?
It just doesn't look normal.
Right. It doesn't look right. Let's be entirely honest here. Something is wrong.
Those eyes stare into your soul.
They do, and not in a good way. Like those are the eyes of someone who should be dead and isn't.
I mean, this is kind of a magically resurrected Gugulanna. So.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like those are the eyes of someone who knows.
So we're not done here.
Okay.
Actually, we're about to get rather.
Oh, do you have like skills for me or some shit in Gugulanna?
Gugulanna, we can scroll down here.
I'm just wondering.
Oh yeah, here's the.
It's like a fucking Thestral. Yeah, or like what's the things that the dudes in Lord of the Rings ride? Nazgul mounts. The mounts of the Nazgul.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the mounts of the Ring Wraiths.
You're the one who should remember that.
I don't remember their name.
And then Gugulanna Lily.
Oh, Gugulanna Lily is so cute. I do love Gugulanna Lily. He's adorable. The strongest divine beast of Sumer. Yep. Ah, okay. Hey. It can burn the Tigris River. 10 out of 10.
Gugulanna Strike. Actually, do I have an animation of that? No, I do not.
The Bull of Heaven.
So.
Oh no, I see like at least 4 more tabs up there.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
So I need to throw you back and cause some PTSD here.
Oh.
What is one of your least favorite aspects of Fate right now?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Not seriously, but like, you groan whenever you see it come up with Artoria.
Her lack of character?
No.
Screaming at Excalibur?
No.
Her boob armor?
No. Servant universe.
Lightsabers.
Lightsabers.
Don't tell me.
Let me introduce you
Don't tell me.
to Space Ishtar.
Why does she look like a cowboy? Or some sort of like indigenous inspired.
This is an Avenger, and also while we're at it, let me also introduce you to oh, that's not the right one. To Astarte.
Hot.
So let me tell you a story.
Why is it yellow? Do you see how offensively yellow this is? Can you tell how offensively yellow this is?
It's like a banana.
Oh my god, there's a giant star-shaped belt buckle. Ah! Oh!
Horrified by the horse girl imagery.
Oh god, you're right! Can I open the other two?
I would hold off.
Okay. Gah! I don't like it. This brings back like that. This brings back my like horse girl phase when I was like 7 and I was reading like horse books.
I did not expect to trigger this level of PTSD.
Well, it's also like this is also like the type of horse girl that's like super culturally appropriative because like fringe and like patterning and shit. Like, ugh. Ugh. And you're saying it's from space too?
Yep.
How could they? Why am I seeing this? Why is it in my front of my face?
So here we go. A lore dump.
Oh no.
So let's go to the Servant universe here. Do you remember that? The Star Wars parody?
I remember Saber Wars.
Yes. Well,
The domination of Artorias.
We're going to get
and
into...
the extermination of archers?
Yes.
Yes.
All of that is its own separate story from this. Carries over a few characters into this, but overall, it's a different conflict altogether.
Oh, no.
At the beginning, or not the beginning, but in the Servant universe, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away,
there lived a hobbit.
A man existed, the last master in the Servant universe, Tokiomi Tosaka. And he was sent on an expedition into deep space along with a group of strong servants to prevent the universe from being destroyed by a primordial goddess named Astarte Origin.
Astarte?
When they finally defeated her,
Somehow I don't think they're going down the castration route.
When he finally defeated her, they found 2 baby alter egos, both of which he took with him. After looking into them, he discovered one was predisposed towards good and the other evil.
This one's evil, right?
His first instinct
this one better
was that
be evil.
He could not raise them both together, lest the evil and the good one come into conflict as they got older. So he chose to put one on ice in cryostasis, and if my memory of Saber Wars 2 is correct, the other he'd raise himself.
This better be the evil one.
So, this is the one he raised.
The evil one.
And this
Because
is
that
the one
color.
he put into cryostasis.
Nah, because that color is evil. That outfit is evil. My eyes are burning, Knick-Knack. Burning!
His first instinct was that he chose... I'm like losing my thing here. I'm like repeating lines. So he was going to raise the good one until he realized how cruel that would be to the evil one. So instead he raised the evil one with the intention that if he could raise her to be good or to know right from wrong, she could show the good one her way in the world. The evil one would go on to be known as Space Ishtar, a bounty hunter partnered with Calamity Jane. She was ripped from her father's care when an evil organization known as the Space Shinkageryu. Do you want to read my notes here? Right there. Space Shinkageryu.
Shinkageryu?
Run by the evil warrior of darkness, Munenori in all caps, had heard...
Wait, Munenori? Isn't that a name I know from something?
It's not common. There's a lot of major Munenoris in Japanese history, including one that we have in Fate. Because he heard about these separate alter egos of the primordial goddess, and broken and kidnapped what he thought was the evil one, killing Tokiomi Tosaka in the process. The good one, under the care of Munenori, would go on to lead an evil organization called... or it would go on to lead the evil organization, the ultimate goal being to gain the power of the original Astarte origin and become a primordial goddess that can control the servant universe.
I don't know, man. She's hot enough. I'd be down for it.
The two twins would come to blows until Space Ishtar would eventually come out on top.
Oh.
Astarte would be betrayed by Munenori, who would sacrifice her to awaken a discovered remnant of the primordial goddess.
Why do we end up with the yellow abomination instead of the hot chick?
This is the form I keep her at in my Fate Grand Order.
I hate that. This is horrendous. It's so bright, it's burning my eyes.
Yeller.
I don't like it.
The two twins have roughly the same physical abilities. Astarte specializing more in swords play and having known... to the point where she created a badge capable of making anyone a saber. This is where Mysterious Heroine X eventually rejoins the fray. And Space Ishtar is a lot more capable with guns and short swords. They both end up in the Avenger class. But that's kind of not it for this story.
Tell me more.
After sacrificing the adopted daughter, Munenori was himself killed by Astarte origin.
Okay.
Astarte lying on the floor, dying, would have...
Just looking. Seeing if she had another art. There is one with a background. Okay. Hot. You know this looks a little bit like? Very Darth Vader inspired.
A little bit.
Shit.
So, Space Ishtar shows her some compassion. But she realizes she doesn't alone have enough strength to defeat Astarte origin, so they merge into Ishtar Astarte.
This is far more acceptable than the yellow abomination. You want to like...
Yeah, we'll get better looks at them later, too.
Hot. Oh, dragon.
Yeah.
Hot.
A being that was on the level of that primordial goddess.
Okay.
These two merged are absurdly powerful. They fight on a universal scale, flinging planets at the other primordial god.
Okay.
We actually have...
Just casually chucking a fucking planet.
So I opened this twice. This is Astarte origin.
Oh.
Blue-coated Ishtar Astarte.
She's so pretty.
Yep.
I like her even... Wait, there was a background photo. There's art. Oh, she's even prettier. I like her color palette more.
Normally you hate blue.
It's purple. It's more purple than it is blue.
Well, fuck me.
Yeah, who thought it was a good idea to let the colorblind one talk about the colors?
They also fight on a smaller scale with energy orbs and lasers.
Okay.
The NP for all four versions of Space Ishtar and Ishtar and all of that is the same.
Okay.
The Oh yeah, you can see skills here if you want.
Oh, yeah, okay. Devil's Sugar. The true devil uses the power of seduction and excitement. Ooh. Venus Driver. Okay, so what's her... Edin Shugura Quasar?
Yep. She summons an ancient temple called the Bel Mana, which is comprised of powerful souls. It borrows energy from the spiritual core of the Milky Way galaxy and fires it at her enemy.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and just lay out all the designs here. So this is Astarte.
Hang on, I was trying to... Yeah, okay. Hot.
Space Ishtar.
Upsetting. Hot.
Astarte. This is just the fan service, right?
Ass.
Astarte
Oh,
origin.
it was cute. She had stars in her eyes. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Just one eye. She has a star in one eye. It's adorable. She has it too. She's got the same pupil shape difference. Hot. Is
Those are all 3 Ishtars riding on a big Ishtar.
so many Ishtars.
And then they're sprites.
Ah, yes.
Yeller.
Acceptable. I like this. I like that a lot.
So the NP, Edin Shugura Quasar.
If it's a great temple, and this is Ishtar, I'd be willing to bet that this is a
So
reference
this is
to
not
her.
just a big, great temple.
No, but I mean, the reference to temple is probably the reference to her temple at Uruk, the great temple to Inanna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not, because it's the space quasar thing. But,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of, like, maybe where it's from. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why is she fighting Yakuza?
So I almost forgot, but I can pull up the animations of the other 2 because they're dramatically different as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at the planets. Oh, God.
There's the temple. It's just a big Ishtar.
Yeah. Hot. 10 out of 10. Would drink to Big Ishtar.
Give me a minute and I will pull up a start. You might need to cut a section. Oh, you definitely need to cut a section.
What did you do? Nope. That one. You just minimized the tab.
Oh, okay. So. Okay, I think this should include... Yes. All right. We're good. So we're...
Sorry. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, dual wielding them lightsabers. One blue, one red. I didn't think that was allowed.
All right, let's... We don't need it. The NP is going to be the same across all 3. So let's... We've already seen the second stage.
It starts further up.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've already seen stage 2.
Were you going to show me the NP for the first stage?
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's got a little bit of a theme song to it.
Planets. Very pretty. Big Ishtar.
Bitchtar.
Bitchtar!
Bitchtar.
Bitchtar.
Okay. Move over to stage 3, because you've already seen stage 2.
Yeah.
Enough.
Oh. Cool. Yeah. Throw that planet thing at them. Just casually drop a fucking planet on them. As one does. I too wish I could drop a planet on people sometimes. Think you can probably swap it to the NP now. Oh no, so it is just the same.
Yeah, it's the same across all three, just different Ishtar standing in front of the
Okay.
temple.
Okay, yeah, different Ishtars. Yeah. Bitchtar.
And then the anime, because
Oh. Yeah.
the animations between blue and red
Yeah.
ultimate Ishtar form are
Probably,
the exact
yeah.
same.
That's fine.
So yeah, that's Ishtar Ereshkigal and everything in between and on the borders.
Oh boy. Okay.
So first off, we have the
Alright.
periphery art here.
Yeah, we saw some of those. That's cute. It's a little code, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ones here that look interesting. This is the anime art.
Yeah. That's...
This one I can...
What's the two girls sitting side by side? Yeah, the two of them. Cute. Well, hot, but, you know.
And that's just a close-up of Ishtar.
Yeah. Okay. Seven-headed Warhammer Sita. Okay.
The Bon CE.
Alright. Fear her, praise her, respect her, and worship her. That goddess is the mistress of heaven, the avatar of beauty. In her hand is a beautiful seven-headed mace. Its wicked appearance suggests this merciless weapon will defeat all. It held this terrible weapon since she was born. Goddess of the morning star, guide us to the dawn. Said that the goddess preferred to lead the charge and gain more so me. Oh, my characters all the time. Hooray for Inanna. By the way, they say that Inanna had another weapon of destruction that equaled the mace's power. Wait, isn't this supposed to be a hymn of praise for me? Why are the bits where your true feelings towards me show? Impressive. I like the art of it.
Yeah. Get a closer look
Yeah,
at it.
it's very pretty. So I'd be willing to bet, I may have just missed something here, but every single one of those snakes has different color eyes, and remember the seven colors of... that's a reference to this.
Probably the same reference.
Yeah, which is just a reference that I probably missed. I didn't look at the representation, like the art and stuff, so there was probably something in it that I should have looked at. The jewel
Valentine's.
cut stars. Valentine's chocolates, a symbol of wealth. Careful, there might actually be real ones. Just, ow!
Yeah, don't bite into it
It's
without
an
unwrapping
emerald.
it.
I don't know, man. Some of those look like they're big enough that you'd be able to get enough to fix your teeth. Nice.
Just gems.
Yeah, just gems. Oh, a formal dress. This is the Japanese one. 2nd anniversary. Oh, so Ishtar's been around a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure how long she'd been around, but yeah.
Since our second Christmas event.
That's what I mean. It says 2nd anniversary.
Yep.
Yep. It makes sense. I like the Japanese ones. They're pretty.
We're coming back to this one just for...
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. I remember. I didn't remember who that was. I didn't identify it last time.
Ishtar and Kets have quite the fierce rivalry as different goddesses of Venus, or different, like...
Oh yeah,
gods
because
and-
she's also associated with Venus. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember this. You didn't let me read this last time. You impress me, Kets. You're managing to keep up with me. Are you perhaps a goddess of the wind? Maybe you don't even need to ride a winged dragon. Same to you, Ishtar. Yes, I thought you were lying on your bloat and made you weak, but you've got the legs like that of an impala. This is getting interesting. The big sister is getting fired up. It's time to go all out. 2 goddesses possessing the guardianship of Venus. I do love Kets.
Yeah, so now you can finally appreciate that one.
Actually, I think after reading it, I think you might have showed it to me and just assumed I remembered her from Babylonia.
Probably.
I think you might have. Oh, wow. Cool. Panty shot. Okay. In her gorgeous tree dress, the girl playfully smiles. Aw, the night is nice in England, too, after we take in the nightscape. Let's go to this town in the countryside called Slough that Zhuge Liang told us about. Lord Elmalloy. My love. 10 out of 10.
Is
It's
that
a cute
panty
dress.
shot? Or is it not quite
It
there?
looks...
Oh, there's like...
Not quite, but it's close. You're towing the line. Okay, that's the art from before.
I'll have to close out of this when we see it. We will see this one again, but I'll just close out of it then.
My chocolate is ready, and I'm all dressed up. I've done a perfect simulation on how to hand over the chocolate. All I need is just a little bit of courage. But our encounters are always a surprise.
That might be in
Aw.
reference to Ereshkigal.
I think it is, because she's the one who seems
And there's Ishtar in the background. Just kind of...
laughing. It's a Valentine's thing, though.
Yep.
It's cute.
This is an anime artwork.
A graceful heaven, the magnanimous earth, the goddess of heaven with her fluttering jet black hair never yields to her duties, she follows her heart. The goddess of earth with her long flaxen hair never yields to her heart, she keeps to her duty. Both possess magisterial pride, both possess a certain dignity. Yeah. The opposites of one another. Oh, yep, we saw that travel journal. You're right. It would be a shame if I was the only one who took in this scene. Oh, this is the Under the Same Sky in This Our World one. Our fleeting moments are beautiful because one day they will end. Our choices are valuable because we cannot change them. Always remember the journey that we have taken, for our story will live on your heart always. I gotta say, especially this travel one, like, I swear to fucking God, most of the servants we've looked at with the travel journal, they, like, put such thought into the little fucking, like, poem bit.
So this was supposed to be, like, one of their biggest anniversaries. Like, they got, like, the
You
Tokyo
told
Dome
me,
and everything
yeah.
just for COVID to shut it down.
Yeah, you told me, and they put, like, some, like, that is a really, like, meaningful, like, so that, you know, fleeting moments are beautiful because one day they'll end. Like, this is important because we won't have it. Like, it means a lot, you know? If it was 2020 and we were doing this, I'd be sobbing my fucking eyes out from emotional distress. Idols. They're dressed up like idols. With microphones and floof. The flowers dance in the blue sky. Their appearance is as beautiful as the warm sunshine, and their voices echo like the invigorating wind. The goddesses bless the world far and wide. May there be happiness. They're so cute. Look at them. Look at how cute they are. They're little. They're wearing the same dress, just in different colors. One's blue, one's pink. They've even got the same shoes and leg thing.
Wait, is that pink? That looks red to me.
Magenta.
Okay.
It is towing the line between red and pink. But it is pink. Ooh. Click into that for me, would you? Oh, that's so pretty. I really like this dress and this art. Like, that's really pretty.
That's a wallpaper.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is absolutely a fucking wallpaper. 6th anniversary. Okay. Since today is a day to be celebrated, think back of the path that you have walked with the spirits. And then we will continue on our way towards a new and exciting journey. That's pretty.
Ooh, okay, we're now at Ishtar Rider.
Oh, look, she's got one of the dual figures.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's
That's her
this?
summer version, too.
Oh, that's just like a little promo art
Yeah.
they released.
So her summer version has one, but her regular doesn't.
Nope.
Amazing.
What's this?
Sharks?
It's a shark.
Is that a reference?
I don't think so. I think this is just a cute artwork the
Okay.
artist drew.
All right.
Because the artists sometimes do just end up drawing shit.
Yeah. Oh, the Goddess's Cup of Champions. Click into it. Oh, it's her on a moped. It's her on a moped. Wait, with a bunch of little chibis on the back of it. Not Gugulanna. Look.
Oh, that's Gudako.
And there's 2 more.
I
You
don't-
can't see them fully, but there's at least another one character. See, look.
Oh, Ritsuka.
Oh, God. Oh, and Gugulanna's on the front.
Yep, so it's the 2 FGO main characters.
Okay. Wait, zoom in again a little. Cuneiform.
I can't. Where?
Zoom out. Cuneiform.
Yeah.
Cuneiform. Where'd I put my tablet?
We're
Oh.
not going to try translating that little speck in the corner.
No, but I want to go get my tablet. Ah! Don't knock everything over. Yep, as soon as we're done filming.
We're almost done.
So, I'm taking a daily life in ancient societies class, which is my writing intensive, and our professor had us write in cuneiform. It's an actual sentence in Akkadian. I came up with it myself. It has my name on it. In cuneiform, on the back. You know, for those of you who can, like, read cuneiform, there's my name. My actual name. Not Sekhie. Even though it was made and prepared, the trophy was hidden and stashed away due to her embarrassment. The words are secretly engraved upon it as a souvenir. The goddess in her scooter. On its backseat, a certain someone who enjoyed the summer as well can be seen. So the main character. Cute. Our Arc de Triomphe de l'Étoile rice cakes. I love it. I love it. Yeah, because we saw the Arc de Triomphe in the animation art as they were red rice cakes, spicy with a hint of chili, caramel flavor, but with a sweet punch and the cool mint. Disgusting. I don't like mint. Gross. But they're very pretty. Yeah, very patriotic.
Flag colors.
French flag colors. Ah, scenic beauty. Okay, so this is. Oh, is this not a? Oh.
This looks like an actual event, CE.
Yeah, it is. A red bridge stands out from the blue sky. Instead of looking down from the heavens, sometimes walking around and sightseeing is its own body. Take a sip from her space-flavored drink. Space. Just the flavor I want. It's cute, though.
Space.
Space. Oh, it's a little Starbucks ripoff, too, with the green straw and everything. Yeah.
It's San Francisco.
Yep, it's the Golden Gate Bridge. Which is actually painted international orange, y'all.
So we have a lot here for Ereshkigal. Some of it we've seen before.
Yeah, but see, some of those are just... Yeah, okay. Skulls.
This one we haven't
That's
seen.
pretty. With the little deer, the reindeer.
Oh, that's just gameplay screenshots.
Yeah, those last three are
That's
all...
Kerr.
Yeah, that's the old man of the mountain. Yeah, and Medjed. So they're just... Okay.
Oh, I don't need to close that. I can, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, I like her outfit.
Wait, what? That should
What?
not be the first one that came up.
What? They out of order?
Oh, yeah, they're a little out of order. That doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
they're back to front.
Okay, so...
Okay, so Goddess of the Netherworld, very pretty. Love the outfit. Garment of a foreign country looks so beautiful. The crimson color dyeing her cheeks must have come from the setting sun. Very pretty. Very cute. Here's her Bonsi. Blooming flowers in Kur. Blooming flowers in the underworld.
So this is because this is not something she normally did, but this is the last sight she saw at the end of the Babylonia. She sees the flowers blooming for the first time in the underworld.
Okay. You remain yourself, she remains herself. Neither of you left your homes, and neither of you tarnished each other's dignity. But that is also why one smiles and finds it also dazzling. It was brief, a memory that flickered by in an instant, and it turned into a thorn that prickled and hurt one's heart. Even if grape trees never bloom in the underworld, to me you will always be a grape. No matter how much time passes, this star can still make my heart yearn. Even after I disappear, this heat shall never dissipate. When the age of the gods has ended, souls no longer gather under the earth, and the mistress who stayed alone at her post has finally finished her role. Bright sunshine will flood this wasteland, the afterglow of dazzling memory that I dreamed about so many times, of flowers blooming in the underworld, and that is how I, carrying that feeling of happiness and contentment in my heart, disappear like a flower. Aww. Sweet home of Kerr.
Valentine's.
Chocolate. It's a miniature version of her cages. It was nicely molded, but its taste may need some work. Mood. Oh, there's her travel outfit from the 3rd anniversary with the deer. Look at with the deer. She's in the mountains.
Deer.
There's a river. I love it. We can't summon.
So you don't know everyone here, I don't think?
I know Eresh.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and
Cool,
pass
hip
this.
rom-com of school life. No,
Yeah.
don't go down. Ah, we saw Bittersweet. Heroic Spirit Festive Wear, Ereshkigal, the 4th anniversary. Ah, hospitality through various entertainments. Okay. Nice. Graceful Heaven and
Saw
Magnanimous
this one
Earth.
before.
I thought you opened these in advance so we wouldn't deal with this.
I wasn't bothering to sort through which ones I already opened or not.
Oh, there we go. Another travel journal. I like this one. Underground facilities in modern times are quite admirable. Under the same sky in this our world. That's the 2021. Oh, that's very pretty. Actually, I think that's a... I know the location that this is taken in, and I can't remember the name of it. But it's like a very specific place. I know these are all taken in like specific places, and I know this one. I just don't at the tip of my tongue, and I don't remember exactly what it is. Idols. Idol-chan. Oh, hey, look, a unique one. And I see the main pro tag in the back.
I'm not going to scroll down. Well, I guess
you can't. Grand Carnival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just fun thing. This is, they're talking about like the little YouTube servant tube thing. This is that.
Aw.
I wasn't going to scroll down because that character's a spoiler.
I want servant tube. Ooh, big-ish.
Oh yeah, this is the Valentine's. You can actually, or not Valentine's, the
Bish.
The April Fool's arc.
It's Bish.
Bish.
That is less aggressively yellow. I'm more okay with this version. Aww. Let me see that third one. Ooh. Oh. It didn't have a name on it, so don't worry.
Okay.
Believe me, I would have commented if it did. Toward the cosmos. Okay. And thus Earth's humanity once again avoided one of many catastrophes, and the Chaldea security organization that we all know and love ceased operations. The ordinary master returned to their normal daily life, and while they struggled to adjust to normalcy because of their absence, they were able to take their first steps, read, get a job, back into society. They are later quoted as saying that was all thanks to 3 great skills: first aid, instant enhancement, and emergency of aid. However, on the eve of their first day back in society, as the former master was looking up at the stars, they witnessed a mysterious meteorite and message. Did my mana get to you? Good, then jump on it and power up the engine. I'm in serious trouble. Oh, ouch. No. Please, master, save me. After composing themselves of the initial shock and subsequent BSOD, the former master secretly grinned despite themselves and hopped aboard the spaceship. Universe Era Season 6.5, solving the case of the 3 Space Goddess Alliance, was now in the hands of an Earthling who lived in a galaxy far, far away.
So it's an intro crawl.
It's an intro crawl. Yep.
This is Mana as a spaceship.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh, space diorama, Choco.
Click into that.
Ooh, big space diorama. Yeah. Oh, Valentine's Day chocolate from all the spacey Ishtars. Mana, Dark Mana, Bell Mana, all together in one place trying to outdo one another. Mysterious OOP art in a distant universe in the few seasons in the future. Amazing.
Forgot to mention the servant universe time is measured in seasons, like seasons of a TV show.
God, that upsets me. Oh, it's in snow. Oh, and look at the little patches on her jacket are of her different attacks and stuff. That's cool. Celebrating Fate Grand Order's 7th anniversary on this memorable day, I suddenly think back to the scene. If I had met you there in a different form, then maybe I would have seen heroic spirits in a different light. Shall we look back on that day and that time with such what-if scenario?
That is Ishtar Ereshkigal and everything in between. What did you think?
I like a lot of it. Some
a bit yellow for your taste.
So much offensive yellow. So much offensive yellow. You sat on that too. It's just offensive yellow. But altogether, I mean, very, very fun. Lots of accuracy and kind of little things that I can appreciate.
With plenty of fate-isms and fate inaccuracy
Lots
as well.
Lots of fate-isms, yeah. Not my favorite, with the exception of Astarte.
That's just because it's got a little
Eresh.
dominate me look to it.
Yes, Astarte and Eresh. I like Astarte and Eresh more than Ishtar and Inanna. But I do, on the whole, like all of this. I'm very interested in finishing Babylonia, too. Like, I'm excited to finish Babylonia soon.
I can promise you don't have to see banana yellow in Babylonia.
Ugh. I'm so glad that doesn't have an April Fool's.
It does.
Not on her own. You can't see
the yellow. You can't see the yellow.
I win. I just unequivocally win.
We do need a hint for next time.
I can't wait to teach you in the next one.
Oh, that was so awful. That was awful.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Y'all don't know how bad that was.